Okay, I'm going to see if I can do this really quickly for you. I have opened embroidery, and the reason I opened embroidery is because I'm thinking if you want an E about 2 inches high, and a millimeter is 25 millimeters to an inch, then you need something close to a 50 millimeter font, just if you do want the E2. So I want to show you that first you would go into embroidery to choose your font, and you'd say you want to sort on size, and we'll say we'll go with 50 plus or minus 5 millimeters, and this gives you the fonts that will stitch out well that big. Even though you can resize things, you want something that is meant to stitch in that size. Now, Harris is an easy looking one. I'm trying to look through here. I don't know if you want something swirly. I was thinking something straight. There are the foam ones. Balloon, although it stitches in a few colors, you can stitch it in one. Oh, I like Carlton for plain looking fonts, and Sans if you just wanted an easy E. So this is what I want to remember. I'm thinking Carlton or Sans. Art Deco is probably too small for you. So there, I've made up my mind. I'm going to go with Carlton. Now we'll go over to Premiere Plus 2 Create. And in Premiere Plus 2 Create, the first thing I'm going to do is change the hoop. I will go with the 120 by 120. But you have to remember this is a little bit bigger than a 4x4. So when you're thinking of a design, you can do something that big on, say, the side of a man's shirt. If you want it bigger, set your hoop bigger. And the reason is you can see how wide your triangle is stitching if you do an outline triangle, or you can see how the font will look at the size you're doing. In Create, the first thing you're going to do is choose a shape. I had already set this to triangle. 3 is an equilateral triangle. There are other ones in here. I think there are the half-size ones somewhere, but 3 is a good equilateral triangle. Now, when you choose, you can have a filled triangle if you want, and you can choose a pattern fill. If you choose that, you would choose which pattern you want or any of these fills. I'm going with an outline on the triangle, and I want a satin line. Now in satin line, this one is going to stitch at 4 millimeters. And if I see it looks too thick in the 4-inch hoop, I could bring it down to 3. If I want it thicker, I could bring it up to 5. I'm going to see how it looks in the hoop. And then this is how you put a shape. It says shape if you're over it, and it will place the shape. So it's giving me a no fill with a satin line. Now if I want to keep it equilateral, I would hit Option and Shift as I move the corner, and it will move it equally within the hoop. And I'll keep it there. Now, if you don't want it equilateral and you want it tall, you can do that. You can make it short. You can do that. I'm going to undo those two and have it equilateral. Now, to get an E, I would use Edit, Insert, Lettering. And we remember I was thinking of Carlton. So I want Carlton, and I click OK. And then it says what size, and I think we'll try 40 to see how that fits. And what letter, I want letter E, and insert. And there I have a Carlton E, and I don't know if you want it within it or over it. I close that. This is the size it comes in at. Now if I wanted it much bigger in the triangle, I would actually undo it and insert it again. Edit. Where's my insert? There it is. Lettering. It stayed where I was, and maybe I want to bring this up. What does a 60 look like? So you can play with the size and the size of your triangle. And if you wanted a filled triangle, let's get this out of here. I'm hitting F and delete. I would go up and add fill. And in options, I could choose my pattern fill by going to the little dots. Do you want it something smooth looking or something with rows? Is there any kind of a pattern you want for your fill? And there are all kinds of choices. It will come up with the last one you chose. So mine is a little bit of a pattern. You probably want something looking smoother. Let's see. I don't play with fills as much as other people. I'm going to end up giving you a pattern here. Standard. Standard is the one that looks, we'll go with that. That looks like not a pattern. And I'm going to take that off and not do a line. That way if you stitch on something stretchy, you're not going to have it, the outline not match your triangle. It's easier that way. There's your triangle. If you wanted a triangle with fill, and of course you can, up here you can put in a color change so they're different. Doesn't really matter, we'll just put in anything. And you want you want these two at the top. Yep, it changed it to blue. You want that. There you go. Oh, that wasn't the one I wanted. I didn't bring the color change down. We'll leave it at blue. You know how to, I hope you know how to change the thread color. So you can do however you want. It can be a fill triangle or just an outline. I talked quickly, but since it's a video, you should be able to stop this and rewatch it. Let us know if you have any questions. This is an easy one.